Improvements on the way for the center of Marston's Mills. You will need to change your clocks this weekend. And oyster season begins tomorrow. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, October 31st, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. Plans are coming together for improvements in the center of Marston's Mills. Director of Growth Management Joanne Miller-Buntich tells us we are at the 25% stage. Design plans will be available for view at the Burgess House in Marston's Mills next Tuesday, November 4th. The consultant will make a presentation about the project to the public. Plans will be on display at 6:30 with the presentation beginning at 7. Monday evening, the Recreation Commission will meet. On the agenda, an update on boat building from Bob Lister, a vote on a proposed increase in fees, and a review of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 2014 season. Staff reports from Joe Izzo and Patty Machado are also part of the meeting. The Recreation Commission meets at 5:30 Monday in the Town Hall hearing room. Well, a project to protect Dead Neck Beach in Cotuit moves forward. After many months of discussion, the Conservation Commission voted to approve the 3 bays preservation plan during a nearly 5-hour meeting this week. The plan calls for dredging at the tip of Sampson's Island and using those spoils to nourish and protect Dead Neck Beach. The project will be done in 3 stages and will not begin until next winter. Well, we'll all get to catch up on our sleep this weekend. That's because daylight saving time ends Sunday at 2 a.m. And while smartphones will automatically adjust the time, anyone with analog clocks or watches will need to make the adjustment themselves. You might want to take care of that Saturday night before heading off to bed. Fire officials also say it's a great time to swap out batteries on fire and carbon monoxide detectors. The Recreation Division will be partnering with the Maritime Museum with a new class this winter. Director of Leisure Services Patty Machado says they will soon offer a new boat building class.
We also have something that's going to be coming out that's not on this is boat building. We've collaborated with the Maritime Museum, and we will be offering, we're not sure yet, it'll be either Wednesday or Fridays after school for middle school students, and we'll offer transportation over to the Maritime Museum. So if you're thinking Christmas present, this might be a fun thing to sign up for. They will be building a sailboat, and first ever. So at the end of it, they'll actually build the sailboat and get a chance to actually go out on the water. It will be all winter long. This program will last from the beginning of January all the way until April, probably right before April vacations when they get the boat in the water. We have a whole group of guys volunteering to teach the class, but you know, it should be fun. We haven't gotten all the specifics, but that's not in the brochure. So when you're looking at it, if you're thinking Christmas present, that's a nice one.
Registration for all other winter recreation activities begins Wednesday, November 5th. Well, it's time to harvest some tasty shellfish. Oyster season opens this Saturday, November 1st. Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin got details from Natural Resource Supervisor Doug Colway.
Doug, tomorrow is a very exciting day. Not only is it the first day of November, I understand that oyster season is opening. Tell me a little bit about this delicious opening day.
Yes, a lot of people have called and been waiting for this day. It's a very popular commodity. Scudder Lane in Barnstable Village, most people know where it is. It's off Route 6A. That is opening, as is Bay Street in Austerville, near the center of Austerville. Probably Scudder Lane is probably, I don't know, 500,000 oysters. They're all single oysters, and Bay Street there's probably 100,000. But there'll be a lot of people. But it doesn't appear that Mother Nature is going to agree with the opening. But there would still be many, many people there. A little bit of weather, bad weather doesn't seem to bother them a whole bunch.
Exactly. Despite even if it's rainy and cold, people will still be out there getting the oysters. So this is obviously the recreational shellfishing areas, Doug. What do people need to do to be able to get out there, and what do they need to know once they are out there harvesting those oysters?
Well, they need to get obviously you need a shellfish license, resident or non-resident, and just the weight is probably the higher the better in case you have to go out further or look for them. And the weather's inclement, the tide doesn't really go out. And the limits are half a peck this year. And just one thing to note is some people with a basket rig say will dump them in the peck basket. But if you take the time to stack them sort of like a puzzle, you'll get probably 50 to 52, and if you just dump them in with the rake, you might get 32.
Good to know. So really take advantage of that
advantageous to you, yes.
Now, obviously, size matters as well. So do people need to be cognizant of how large or how small the oysters are when they take them out?
Oh, yeah. They all have to be 3 inches in length, and we have gauges, and some people make their own little pieces of wood that measure them. But you can't have anything under 3 inches in length, or if there's an oyster that happens to have some small seed on it, you shouldn't take those either.
Great, certainly good to know. So is it just oysters that's open now, Doug, or are there other shellfish that you can take as well?
In both places, there's also cohogs available to have, but usually when oyster season opens, no one thinks of anything else except oysters.
That's right. Definitely.
There's no other shellfish that exists.
That's right. It's all about the oysters all the time. So again, there are specific days too in which people can recreational shellfish. Right? It's not something that you can do every day.
Oh no. Yeah, this is. I mean, our staff propagates them from early spring till date, and they've been spending the last 2 months, especially at Scudder Lane, putting them out of the cages into the field for them to be harvested. And last year there was a great thing. It stayed open until April 1st, oystering. Some years it'll close December, or around Christmas or first of the year, because they'll deplete them or there'll be a lot of seed there. But we anticipate this year it going to be, past that time, and only time will tell how many people take oysters.
Great. So there aren't specific days of the week in which people can go get oysters. You can do that all the time?
Yeah, well, you can do it Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. But you only can take your half a peck per week of oysters.
Okay.
But Saturday and Sunday changes the week. So if you had a family gathering on say a Sunday afternoon, you could actually go Saturday and Sunday if the tide was right.
Okay. Good to know. Doug, anything else about oyster season that you feel our viewers should be aware of?
You have a lot of company, a lot of friends at these different places.
That's right.
It's amazing how many people go to these things.
That's right. And we here at Channel 18 always appreciate oysters too, Doug.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to get out there. I've never gone out and oystered, so I might have to go and do that.
Well, if the weather's accommodating, it's say if you're raking leaves on your lawn or your driveways, it's just like that. They're not under the substrate.
That's right.
And so they're just right on top, and you can basically feel them with your feet.
Indeed. It's really easy.
It is, yes.
And so, real quick, Doug, before I let you go, I just want to talk a little bit about hunting. I understand, I think we'll probably talk more in depth about this on another episode.
Oh, sure.
But hunting season is coming up. What are the markers, and are there seasons open now? What do people need to know right now?
Yeah, there's upland game, and pheasants that opened on the 18th of October, and goes through the 29th of November. It's pheasants mostly that people go after. We stock pheasants, so we get them from the state on Fridays and Mondays. We stock them in West Barnstable Conservation Area and on Sandy Neck. And Saturday seems to be the most busiest day there is. But if people walk in there, especially in November during pheasant season, I would just wear maybe an orange hat or a cap of some sort just to be safer. But I don't think there should be a problem if you continue to walk in there.
Indeed, and I think that's important. Obviously, if you do go for a walk on Sandy Neck or in the West Barnstable Conservation Area, certainly want to be aware that there may be hunters out there.
Exactly.
Just protect yourself, and for the hunters too, make sure that they know that people might be out there walking or mountain biking or whatever else.
Exactly. Yes.
So just be cognizant of that. And how long does that pheasant season run? Is it something that is just kind of stocked once a year? Is it something that's stocked continuously? Tell me.
No, we stock them probably Saturday morning about 3 a.m. and usually Monday evening. And we'll do that every Friday and Monday through the 29th of November, right say around Thanksgiving.
Monday night, the Recreation Commission meets at 5:30 in the Town Hall hearing room. The Town Council Road Subcommittee will also meet at 5:30 Monday night. That meeting will be held in the Selectmen's Conference Room. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On Monday's show, we will chat with Town Manager Tom Lynch, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Mary Schkowsky, plus we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.